All right, so you've done the hard work to grow an audience, and now it's time to start monetizing it. Today, I want to show you 5 different ways in which you can start selling more of your products, your programs, and your services for your online business directly through your content. Let's get into it. So after a decade of serving over 33,000 online business owners, 10,000 of those through our membership, the Business Lounge, and so many more through our one-on-one coaching programs, we found that there is usually 5 profit thieves that show up for online business owners. And the number one is this one. And we see this all the time with content creation, and it's simply not talking about what you do consistently. So often we just are loading up our social media accounts and our content that we're putting out with a ton of value, and we want to do that. It's super important to add value, to build a relationship. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you should never be selling. In fact, it's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as an online business owner. And I wanted to show you here essentially what this looks like when you are thinking about strategy for your online business. I'm going to break presentation mode here and just kind of show you guys, quick and dirty what the content marketing funnel looks like. So most of us, right, we are building an audience right here at the top. And let me see if I can just zoom you guys in a little bit so we could see it a little closer. Okay, there we go. And we never actually switch or change the relationship, right, from a follower. And so we're giving people value on social media. We're giving them value maybe like on our YouTube channel or through a podcast. But we're never actually directing them to buy something from us, right? Whether it's a sales page or a shop. We're not changing the relationship to actually having them become email subscribers or sending them through long-form content that can build the relationship. And so we tend to just stay up here and never even get anywhere below that section. And it's the number one mistake that we see. See, only about 10% of people who consume your content on social media are ready to buy from you. That means that you're missing out on 90% of the market. People who just need to build a relationship with you, they need to go through a lead magnet, consume some of your free stuff, maybe get, a couple emails, maybe watch a webinar or a training or a class before they're ready to buy from you. Or at the very least, they need to consume and kind of binge some of your long-form content. And if you're not even putting out long-form content, it's hard to build a relationship without having something like this video or a podcast or a blog where you can actually build relationship. And so you'll see here, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, that's how people's kind of sales process progresses. Like this is how behaviorally most people go through the process of buying things. And what's really cool is that as things have shifted and changed this year, we're seeing more and more people being willing to go through this route here, where they're going through and finding you on social media, consuming some of the long-form content, and then they're actually buying. But even if you're not producing long-form content, you can still apply the strategies I'm going to share with you today to actually get more people to come down here and buy your stuff. Again, whether that is a product, a program, a service, whether you're selling coaching or training, or you sell books, or you have some kind of online service, these strategies are going to work for you. And so let's get back here to the presentation. I want to show you guys how you can make this work. And the number one thing that we find, and we find this over and over again, is again, you're just not talking consistently about what you do. So here's a couple ways in which you can incorporate what you do and talk about what you do without being overly salesy, because ultimately, we have to fix this problem. If you're not seeing sales come in through your content, you're not monetizing, we have to fix it. And the fix is what we call the golden rule of online business. And that's ABM. It stands for always be marketing. Whether you have a ton of clients or you're kind of in the feast and famine cycle, it's still important that you market what you do. And so a good example of this is you could soft pitch on social media or to your email list every single day. Now, before you freak out on me, let me tell you, there's conversational ways in which you could do this that are really seamless. It builds value, build relationship, and don't make you seem overly pushy or just like a used car salesman. You know what I mean? So here's one way in which we do it, and we do this all the time. I'll send a valuable email, I'll link to one of our blog posts, and then at the end of the email, I just have an ad, right? I just have an ad. I basically just tell people, hey, if you love this content, if you found value from it, I'd love to help you with your content creation. Here is a template pack of done for you post ideas for social media. And so that's our content starter kit. I might even get them a cool discount for being a part of our email list. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm talking about what I do, and people don't just get used to seeing constant value from me and never an actual sale or an offer, I should say, not a sale, an offer. Because ultimately, here is the problem, guys. When we have an online business, a lot of people think, or they're conditioned to think, that we are content creators, right? That we are just putting out a ton of videos and a ton of podcasts because it's like our hobby. And it's not our hobby. It's our job, right? We actually have a business, and we need to show people behind the scenes that we're an actual company, that we have something to sell, that they can hire us, they can buy our products, that they can buy our programs, they can buy our courses. And that's how you stand out as an online business owner. You can't fall into like the influencer content creator game, because people will think that your job is to produce content for them for free, and that you're going to have like magically some sponsors that come up and pay your bills. That's not going to happen, right? Like, we have to make it happen on our own. That's what it's like to be an online business owner. And so it's really important that you're always building, in the back of people's minds, that planting these seeds of like, hey, I'm the business, you can hire me, you can buy my things. And again, it doesn't have to be pushy. Here's another example of how we do this. And I love looking at how people are doing it in like very different industries. So here is the behind the scenes strategy. And this is Osmosis Beauty. It's one of my favorite brands. Love Dr. Ben. He formulates the best skincare products, just in case you're in the market. Not sponsored. But I really like how they're constantly showcasing like, hey, we're unpacking an order, or we have a new formulation, or here are the things that are, flying off the shelves at our, in our stock room. Bringing people behind the scenes of what you do, showing them how you work with clients, showing them how you work with other businesses, showing them how you actually deliver the thing that you do, super helpful. Another example here is to have a pin post on your Instagram, for example, with a promotion. So you should be creating about 20% of your posts should have a direct call to action to work with you, to jump on a discovery call, to buy your course, join your membership, join your coaching program, whatever that might be. And I love how Dr. Ben has this. So he just pinned a post on their account where he's talking about their latest formulation, or he's announcing a product, and he kind of rotates between whatever is happening at the moment in the company. And I love this strategy. It's something every single one of us should have, is one of those posts that lead people directly to, that sales mechanism, whether it's a webinar or masterclass, or you're getting them to buy from you directly. This is a great way of doing it. Another example, Dr. Motley. Love Dr. Motley. If you are a wellness nut like I am, he has an amazing membership. I've been a member for a couple of years and absolutely love it. And so he tells people, hey, like, he has a highlight on his stories that's called membership. And you'll see here one of his pinned posts is welcome to the membership. So every time he's on his stories, he's answering questions. That's usually his Instagram strategy, which I think is fantastic. And then he's not even really I've never seen him hard pitch his membership. It's just kind of, he talks to people like they're already in the membership. He's like, hey, members, don't forget, we're going, live today for a call at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or he will actually have hey, I just added this module to the membership. And he's just telling people kind of behind the scenes what he does. And it's such a simple, organic, seamless way of talking about what he does without being like, hey, buy my stuff. Although I do think you should do that occasionally. Now, here's a couple other ways in which you could do it. You could just talk about how you're serving other people in your stories. And so that might look like a behind the scenes of what's going on in your coaching program. Like for us, we had this question. I said, I had this question come up a lot in our coaching programs. How often should I be promoting my products to my email list? And so I go ahead and answer that question. And then maybe I end with like, hey, if you're curious about what our coaching program looks like, or you want help with marketing your business online, DM me the word coaching as an example. And then I'll, kind of talk to people and see if they're a good fit. And the next time that we open the program, I'll put them on a wait list or something like that. Then we also talk to people like they are already in the membership. We call our members loungers. And so we'll say, hey, loungers, mark your calendar for a bonus crypto one-on-one workshop with Chris next Thursday. And so again, we're just kind of hyping up what's happening behind the scenes. You can also do this by sharing client testimonials and what other people are saying about your brand, about your company behind the scenes. And so you'll see here, Chris is sharing a bunch of awesome screenshots from our Zoom calls where Holly was like, OMG, I'm never leaving you guys. Take all my money. And then Lisa was like, that's amazing. So excited to be part of this community. And Julie says this is the best membership ever. And so again, we're just kind of talking about the program and what people are saying about it. And this could be client stories. It could be case studies. It could be just straight up testimonials. And in our case, the story leads to, hey, if you want to be a part of this community, look at what people are saying about us. Come join us. Here's the link. And you can also just, instead of the link, just have people DM you, right? Especially if you have many chats hooked up, and that can be more of an automated process where you say like, hey guys, DM me TBL and I'll send you the link. You can also do that as well. And so you see, like, it's a conversation. And when something exciting is happening in our business, we have no problem inviting people to join. Here's the thing, guys. The majority of online business owners, especially if you're female, which is our niche for the most part. We work with men too, but for whatever reason, we have a lot of women. And we just don't make offers often enough. Like, we just don't really ask people to join our course or hop on a discovery call or come in and, take whatever assessment that leads to the sale. And it's a shame because we have a responsibility to help people, to serve people, to help them achieve breakthrough, to take them from, their current state into their dream state, like from where they are right now to where they want to be. That's our calling as business owners, is to solve problems for people. And if we're not inviting them to do that, then what is the point, really? It took me a very long time to make peace with the idea that I am a business. And so I have to invite people to come into my digital world and do business with me. And that is a beautiful thing because it's an exchange of value. I don't have to be pushy or ultra salesy, but inviting them to come and to do that consistently is super important, especially if you have ambitious goals to hit certain milestones in your business so that you can actually pay it forward. So you can build more opportunity for your community so that you can have more jobs and you can bless other people with jobs so that you can contribute in bigger ways and make a bigger impact. All of that doesn't happen unless you actually invite people to work with you. And that's really what we're talking about today is how do you invite people more consistently to do business with you, and how do you do it conversationally? How do you do it softly? And also, how do you do it directly? Because there's nothing wrong with 20% of the time having a hard pitch and being like, hey, you got to get into my program. These are the results that I am getting clients, or these are the results that people are seeing with my product. You have to do this. Come join me. Let's do it together. There's a certain confidence that has to be you have to exude if you actually want to make money and you want to help people and you want to make an impact. You got to get over the fear of selling. And we'll have maybe a whole other episode about that. If this is of interest to you, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to hear. Okay, guys, so let's go back here to a couple other ideas that I have for you. But before we do that, I got to walk my talk and listen. We have an entire profitability masterclass. If you want to go deeper into the art and the science of selling more of your products, programs, and services through content marketing, you're going to love this class. Chris and I teach it together. It's super fun and dynamic. We give you awesome value. And of course, invite you at the end to join one of our coaching programs. So make sure that you check that out. It's totally free. You can find the link below this video. Okay. back to the show. I have a couple more ideas for you. So as we go along here, let me kind of fast forward and show you other ways in which you can be a little bit more direct. So love how you could sell directly on stories. For example, you could go here. This is an example from Chris. He was teaching people like, hey, this is a lead magnet that's doing super well. This is how we're using YouTube to drive an insane amount of subscribers to our email list. You can totally steal this strategy from us and put it to work. But if you actually want to know how we're now taking those subscribers and turning them, into six-figure promotions through our email list, you need to join us inside the business launch, right? So the next slide is like, hey, direct pitch, direct invitation. You get $2,100 in free bonuses. It ends tonight. Here's the link. All right. So direct pitching, totally okay. You can also celebrate things that are happening in your business. And so for us, we had a cool launch party with Success Path 2.0 inside the membership. And we're like, this is awesome. It was so cool. You need to be in the room with people like this. And so we shared a screenshot of the Zoom chat, which was popping. Another idea, you could talk about how you are moving along in your business. And so for us, we had a couple client openings in our one-on-one coaching program. And this was a couple months ago. And so Chris is like, hey, I have this open in January. If you're interested in getting some marketing help from me, DM me the word interested. And so immediately we got 3 people who were super interested, and we were kind of sharing, he was sharing the details of the program. And so it's, again, another way in which you can actually start closing clients directly through DMs or through stories. Okay, next up is to sponsor your content. I hope you're enjoying these. I hope you're enjoying these strategies. Let me know in the comments if you are. I'd love to hear from you. That helps the video get discovered and other people find more ways in which they can grow their businesses through content. So let's talk about sponsoring your content. I'm going to break presentation mode here and just show you how you can add ads, essentially, to your long form content. So if you're putting out anything like a blog post, like here's an example of one of ours, and there's a video in it. So I embed the YouTube video, I embed the accompanying podcast, then we have a blog version. Boom, I'm inviting people to download a related lead magnet. So I'm growing my email list. But at the very end of the blog, you'll see here, there's an ad, right? Again, to the content starter kit, like I showed you in that first email. And we also have an ad right here on the sidebar that goes to the business launch. So I'm unapologetically sharing more of, and again, because this is a very long, meaty blog post, I will link our stuff 2 or 3 times. And I might also just hyperlink stuff. Like I think at the beginning I talked about the business launch. Let me see. Oh, no, here's Content Calendar System. This is one of our courses. And so I'm hyperlinking that, just mentioning it, right? Soft pitch. But you should sponsor your own content. You shouldn't just put out content and not have an ad spot. This is like it's like, for example, owning the radio station, but never ever advertising on the radio station. You maybe you have other people advertise in your content, maybe other people sponsor you, but your business never sponsors your own content. And let me tell you, it is far more lucrative to sponsor your own content than to get a sponsor. We do brand deals, we do sponsorships. I have no problem bringing in partners and people that I really believe in, especially when they have products that are complementary to what we do. But we are our number one sponsor because it is the most profitable way of monetizing our content. Now, if you do YouTube videos like this one, this is one of our YouTube videos that I recently published. And so you'll see there is an ad spot. Like I invite people to come over and check out our masterclass. You could also just directly invite them to join your service. So I could say hey, we have a couple spots in our coaching program. If you're interested, here is the link to jump on a discovery call with me. You could do that and ideally you do both. You could also link to your webinar, your masterclass, anything on demand where you actually sell people, build a relationship, add a ton of value, and then pitch. So you'll see here, there's 5 ways to work with us. Boom, 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 boom. Make it super easy. There's also the ability to text us to get more from the show. And then finally, Buzzsprout is who hosts our podcast. And so again, I wanted to show you examples from a blog, from video, and from podcasts. And I decided to migrate our entire podcast just for this one. Sure, Buzzsprout, if you're listening to this, let's talk. because I think you have one of the best products out there when it comes to hosting podcasts. And so I love that they have dynamic content ads. And essentially what we can do, I don't know if you guys can hear this. You see if I play it and you can hear it. And hey, we're interrupting this episode to tell you something super exciting. But essentially, I can insert pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll ads into any episode or all episodes, depending on what's happening in our business. So for example, if we're opening up the business lounge, I have an evergreen ad already pre-recorded. It's just an audio. And then I will insert that in the middle or at the beginning or at the end of an episode. I'll do the same thing when there's something cool like the fan mail feature. Right now we have our C2C ad that is evergreen. And so this is one of our programs, Content to Customers. It's a mini workshop. And so I'm advertising that right now. There's so much that you can do with being the sponsor of your own content. I think it's just such a brilliant strategy and something that we don't really think about. I think sometimes we just get in like total autopilot mode. And so we're just putting out content because that's what we're taught to do. And there's never like strategy, like how are we going to sell through our content? How are we actually going to promote what we do, actually attract more of our ideal clients and customers, and build our business through content marketing? And so listen, this is what we're all about. We are super passionate about helping you grow a profitable business with content marketing that is monetizable. So if you want to learn more about that, I will leave a free masterclass below this video. It's that profit masterclass that Chris and I did with so many more strategies so we can dive in deeper and you can actually walk away with a blueprint for how you're going to leverage content marketing, how you're going to stay consistent, and more importantly, how you're going to build your business and sell through it without being salesy or pushy or scammy. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And hey, I'd love for you to watch this other video next, where I'm going to show you the only 3 things that you need to actually scale your online business. They're simpler and easier than you think. And I give you tons of practical examples and ideas. So make sure to watch that video next. Thank you so much for watching. Un beso. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.